Many beloved cartoon characters are being turned into horror movie characters. Characters like Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse have had horror films, with Peter Pan and Bambi having horror films coming out very soon. So I thought I would come up with classic cartoon characters that would be so cool to see in a horror film. So I have 10 characters here that I thought of and a story to go along with them. Coming up first is Pikachu. I love Pokemon, and it would be so cool to see an angry Pikachu who's fed up with being inside a Pokeball. He allows for a trainer to capture him, and when he is released from the Pokeball, he decides to kill that trainer, but then starts to allow himself to be captured and kill more trainers throughout the movie. You could have some gruesome kills with thunder, some Pokemon moves, and his sharp tail killing these trainers. You could start to implement other Pokemon characters that Pikachu convinces to go along with his journey to kill other trainers. It doesn't have to center around Ash Ketchum or Misty or Brock or Team Rocket. It could just be random killers that Pikachu encounters and decides to kill them. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo would be a really cool one to see. Not the Mystery Inc. gang, but Scooby-Doo as a character. He starts to get word that the group might separate. The human characters have some conversations about possibly separating, and Scooby-Doo doesn't want to separate from the Mystery Inc. gang. And Scooby-Doo starts to murder people, and Mystery Inc. has the most challenging mysteries, but he does it so that the Mystery Inc. can stay together to solve these crimes. But he is continuously doing it and being very different along the way, so nobody suspects that it's Scooby-Doo. It could be an absolutely wild movie bringing in classic Scooby-Doo villains, but then Scooby-Doo killing them in a very gruesome way so that you could have Mystery Inc. staying together. Some heart behind it, realizing that Scooby-Doo loves being with the Mystery Inc. and will go to very extreme lengths to protect his friendship with everybody. It could be very brutal. Bugs Bunny. I thought this could be a very simple one. We know that Elmer Fudd is constantly trying to hunt Bugs Bunny, but he is tired of it. So he starts to kill other hunters throughout the movie and saves Elmer Fudd for the last kill. I envision a lot of kills with carrots, like very sharp carrots that he's like shoving in people's eyes or trying to kill them, just stabbing them with carrots. It could be a cartoon movie. It could be a live action one. I don't really care. It'd be wild to have a horror film centered around Bugs Bunny. He could be very vicious, just start gnawing on them left and right. Anybody that comes to where Bugs Bunny lives, he's going to kill them, and then we'll save Elmer Fudd for the last 15 minutes of the movie and just be an all-out bloodshed. Shrek. This would be a cool one if you kind of structure it like the beginning of the animated Shrek movie, with Lord Farquaad having all of the fairy tale creatures end up at Shrek's swamp. But he gets rid of them, but a few of them want to come back to want to live at his swamp. But he is fed up with people trying to invade his swamp, and there he will kill anybody that enters his area. And you could have classic fairy tale creatures that are in that movie, like Little Red Riding Hood and Pinocchio and the Gingerbread Man. Those characters that end up at his swamp, he's going to kill them. And people have heard of very vicious stories of Shrek, a different side to this ogre, and people are terrified of him. But the fairy tale creatures believe that he is on their side, so they feel like this is a safe place to be. But it's not. He's going to kill them, and he is large. He could just overpower all of these fantasy creatures, and then starts to maybe possibly go to Lord Farquaad's castle and kill him and all of his henchmen along the way. It could be a pretty fun film. I would maybe say animated would be pretty cool to see. Maybe he teams up with Donkey along the way, and Donkey gets in on all the kills. It could be funny. It could be a really silly horror film that embraces the wild side of these fantasy creatures, but also has a more brutal side to it all. The Minions, you could get all of the Minions together or just focus on a few of them, like the Despicable Me movies do. but it could be a storyline that the minions are fed up with serving a master, the big villain of their movies, like Gru. But this movie doesn't have to center around Gru. It could just be the person that they are serving, and they start to rise up against anybody that is alive that has told them what to do, and their current master, and they save their master for like the end of the movie. But anybody that's ever done them wrong, told them what to do, they are angry about all of that, and they go on this little journey of killing anybody that's associated with their master. Like I said, it doesn't have to be Gru. It could just be anybody that wants to have the minions by their side, but they will kill anybody that's associated with it. And you could have, like I said, a lot of them, so it could be like overpowering, or you could just have a very select few that are down this path, and all the other minions are like whatever, with just helping someone out. But maybe Bob, Stuart, and Kevin, maybe something horrific has happened to Bob, Stuart, and Kevin, like one of their masters have killed another minion, and so they rise up to kill their master and all of their associates as well. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Teenage Mutant Turtles start to take matters into their own hands. They stop a lot of crime already, but they start to slowly be more and more brutal, and then they slowly start to kill people. And Master Splinter learns of everything. He disapproves. They kill Master Splinter. They go on this journey to kill all of the Foot Clan and Shredder as well. We know that the Turtles do a lot of crime fighting, but in this film, they take it to the extreme, and they use their weapons that they are known for in the movies and the shows, and they use those to kill people. So you have a very personal style to it, weapons that are familiar, but they are killing people. You have the Foot Clan involved. They are just killing people left and right. They kill Splinter because he disapproves of it. They turn. Like, you could have a slow progression in the beginning of this movie where they're good, but they realize that there's so much crime and it's not going to stop. So they take an extreme route and they start to kill everybody. And you could have a lot of action-packed scenes because the Turtles are known for all of that. So you could have a lot of action and a lot of kills along the way to make it feel like it's really intense. Super Mario, you could treat it like it's a Bowser final boss level in the castle, but Mario has gone on this journey to try to save Princess Peach. He's done. He wants it to end, and he is going to kill Bowser and all of the creatures that are in the Bowser level, like Super Mario World and Super Mario 64, where Bowser is, and you have to trek through that level to get to Bowser. But everything that Mario encounters along the way, he's not just going to jump on them. He's going to kill them. And he might throw them into the lava, dip them slowly into the lava, just have some crazy moments where Mario is killing all these little creatures to lead to Bowser. But Bowser sees what's going on, and he wants his family, everybody that's involved, all the other characters that we have, like the levels, to try to stop Mario. And you could have more like final little mini boss levels throughout this movie, and then slowly getting to Bowser to save Princess Peach. I mean, he already kind of kills these characters, like jumps on them or they'll fall into the lava, but actually show it being brutal and just being a horror film. SpongeBob SquarePants. This would be a very odd one. I thought of like a way that SpongeBob could be mean when he's so giddy and upbeat throughout the show. But SpongeBob learns that citizens of Bikini Bottom are leaving him terrible reviews. And at first he tries to just brush it off, but more and more terrible reviews are coming out of Bikini Bottom. We learned that Plankton is behind all of it. So he's trying to get the secret formula, but he starts to kill citizens of Bikini Bottom, ones that he's trying to find that have left these terrible reviews. He starts to kill people with the spatula and his fry station as well. Things that are in the kitchen would be ways that SpongeBob SquarePants would kill people. He starts killing more and more people along the way, learns that it's Plankton, paying people to leave these terrible reviews, and ends up killing Plankton once and for all, and goes back to working at goes back to working at Krusty Krab, and that is our end of the movie. Tom and Jerry. This would center more around Jerry, who's fed up with Tom trying to catch him, and Jerry always gets away, but's had enough of it. So Jerry gets a group of mice together, and all of them start to kill cats that have tried to chase Jerry, or just cats in their neighborhood. So you have a bunch of mice that are entering these houses and killing these cats. And then after every cat that there is in the movie, we have Jerry just delivering the final blow. And then we have Tom at the end, Tom learning that all the cats are being killed. He's afraid, but we have Jerry leading up to everything and trying to kill Tom at the end. You could have like your slapstick style to it and constantly like running around using items within the house as their weapons, but it could be a really zany, upbeat horror film that has a lot of quick moments to it, but all centered around Jerry and how angry he is towards Tom and all of the cats. And the last one that I think that would be pretty cool is Where's Waldo? This would be like a supernatural element to it, where Waldo can bring in people into his world, like these labyrinths and all these mazes throughout, so they have a really hard time finding him. And throughout this movie, he's luring these people in, and they are having the hardest time trying to find him, since there's a lot of other people that look like Waldo, or just like shadowy figures throughout this movie. It can be really creepy, but when they least expect it or they don't see him, he's gonna kill them. You have that unexpected intensity to it, and you don't see a lot of things coming, so you could have a lot of jump scares. It could be more of a darker movie with that supernatural element to it, where he could change things, almost giving it a Nightmare on Elm Street vibe, but very vibrant and colorful, utilizing a lot of different people within this world to really throw off the victims within this film. Now, I know a lot of these movies probably have massive plot holes and just don't make sense, but it'd be so cool to see some of these characters in a horror film, and I'm all here for taking classic cartoons like Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse and Peter Pan and Bambi and turning them into horror films. Seeing how creative they can get with some of them, it's pretty interesting to see what they can do now. So what cartoon characters would you like to see be turned into horror films? Stay tuned for more up and coming content just like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.